Today we will learn Chinese painting. Before learning the contents, let's enjoy a video first. This video is about one of the most famous works in Chinese painting, that is Along the River during the Qingming Festival by Zhang Zheduan in the Song Dynasty. And the contents of our lecture include 4 parts: the background, essential philosophy, special materials and tools, and the painting forms. Chinese painting is one of the oldest continuous artistic forms in the world. That means Chinese painting has the longest history in the world and without interruption. With different instruments, materials, and cultural background, Chinese painting has its own features in comparison to Western painting. Chinese painting is very different from Western painting. In Chinese painting, the most important factors include the special pedagogy, the painter's personality, and the unique Chinese philosophy. We can try to understand Chinese paintings from these 3 most important perspectives. And the painters are trained not only to convey the objects, but also to express the moods and the spirits of the subjects. Remember here, the moods and the spirits of the subject are more important than the object. And then the Chinese painters also believe that Chinese painting is the expression of the painter's knowledge and temperament. That means in Chinese painting, it shows the painter's knowledge and the temperament and reflects the moods and spirits of the author. Okay. So, Chinese painting becomes something much more than a common genre of art. And then let's feel the essential philosophy of art. What Chinese painters are trying to express are not what meets the eye, but their attitude to the nature. That means we need to feel the author's attitude to the nature from their painting. The painters also have profound love and admiration of the nature, and it's a part of our religious practices and needs. Also, it's a part of our culture. So, we can draw some conclusion about this essential philosophy of Chinese painting. That is, the unity of the heaven, the earth, and the human beings. It's similar with Chinese philosophy. Now let's review what we learned ancient Chinese philosophy in Chapter 1, Lecture 1. In the process of more than 5,000 years of our glorious civilization, our Chinese people have formed the traditional values with the unity between heaven and man as the core. And it systematically expounded such relationship and constantly promoted the development and progress of the Chinese society. So from here, we need to pay attention to these two adjectives, systematically and constantly. And then let's try to remember the unity between heaven and man, urged by the Lao Tzu of Taoist school. That is, man follows earth follows heaven follows the way, and the way follows the nature. The nature is the core of everything. Now, we can feel the ancient Chinese philosophy has really profound influence upon Chinese art, Chinese painting, and many other perspectives in many ways. Okay. Now let's move on to special materials and tools of traditional Chinese painting. Traditional Chinese painting has its special materials and tools. How special? And what are these materials and tools? They include brushes, ink and pigments, xuan paper. Also, we call it the rice paper, silk, and various kinds of ink slabs. 4 jewels. Each scholar in China has 4 jewels. So what are the 4 jewels? They are writing brushes, ink sticks, ink slabs, and paper. All of these 4 jewels are indispensable tools for ancient Chinese literati. They are known as 4 treasures of the scholars, and each scholar cherishes their jewels in the reading room. And the significance of these 4 jewels is not limited to writing and calligraphy. The Chinese literati have given them profound cultural connotations and feelings. And now let's enjoy the pictures of the brushes, ink sticks, and xuan paper. Xuan paper, and here the ink slabs. And these 3 pictures are about rice paper and how the xuan paper is produced. 2 sorts of xuan paper. Painting forms. The principal forms of traditional Chinese painting are hand scrolls, albums of painting, fan surfaces, and long horizontal scrolls. Hand scrolls are both horizontal and vertical, which are mounted and hung on the wall. This is the long horizontal scroll. Long horizontal scroll is also called hand scroll. So what is the album of painting? In the album of painting, the artists paint on certain size of xuan paper, then bind the painting works into an album. It's very convenient for storage. Then let's look at the fans. Fans include folding fans and round fans. Fans are made of bamboo strips, covered by painted paper or silk, pasted on the frame. These are the folding fans. This is round fan, okay? And let's look at some more fans. Very beautiful round fans. And what do the artists paint in their paintings? Okay, animal and human figures. In addition to animal and human figures, Chinese painters utilize the forms they find in nature, such as ovals, circles, and geometric lines, which are also found in calligraphy. So we know Chinese painting is very closely connected with Chinese calligraphy. Okay. And all painting works are painted with the same movement, rhythm, and harmony that are used when drawing the lines and the forms of calligraphy. And Chinese painters usually spend hours contemplating and drawing inspiration from figures in nature. Just now we said they often find the forms in nature. Here, figure in nature. Okay, go on. For example, hummingbirds. The painters paint not only the hummingbirds, but also with fragile wings. Very detailed and precisely. And the robust legs of crickets. The fascinating forms of the praying mantises. Now let's enjoy some pictures of 齐白石. The crickets, the mantises, insects, and the birds. And the crabs, the ducks, the shrimps. 齐白石 has his prodigious output, and they reflect a diversity of interest and experience, generally focusing on the smaller things of the world rather than the large landscape. Shrimps, crabs, forks, and insects are his favorite subjects. These are the cucumbers with bright flowers, crickets, and the bees. And insects, cranes. Very beautiful plant. And the mantises. So we can feel the beauty of 齐白石 works using heavy ink, bright colors, and vigorous strokes. 齐白石 creates works of a fresh and lively manner that expresses his love of the nature and the life. Here are two crickets, very lively and fresh. This picture also expresses 齐白石's love of nature and life. Now let's do some conclusion about our lecture. From the minor and simple creatures chosen by the painters. We can feel the painters enjoy the nature and also their love for the most humble things. Also, the painters believe human beings are part of the surrounding unity of the heaven and the earth. We can feel the great charm from Qi Baishi's works, and all of his works reflect the beliefs of Chinese painters. Okay? And so that is why our Chinese painting works are simple in composition, but full of harmony, peace, and overall balance. Chinese painters are interested in mood and spirit. Also, the Chinese paintings reflects the deep feeling of our Chinese ancient philosophy. And each traditional Chinese painting reflects the deep essential philosophy of our art. And before ending this lecture, let's enjoy another video. That is the picture of ladies in Tang Palace by Zhou Fang. That's all of our lecture today. Thank you very much.